Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy, and on today's episode of Cheap versus Expensive, we're going to look at the most affordable Silverado and the most expensive Chevy Silverado to see if it's really worth upgrading with this pickup truck. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with both of these trucks. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And by the way, both of these trucks used in today's video are available for sale. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood of the loaded up Silverado is a 3-liter inline-6 diesel that goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy is 20 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 305 horsepower and then 495 pound-feet of torque. Now, powering the base model truck is a turbo 2.7-liter 4-cylinder. Goes through an 8-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 21 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this comparison, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So, starting with the fully loaded truck, this is a ZR2 with the Bison package. So you've got this cool painted part there on the hood. You got the Chevy flow tie as well. We've got this bumper from AEV, which is ready for hardcore off-roading, and it just has an aggressive look overall. It's cool. Popping over to the entry-level truck, you can see it's got the normal Chevy hood. Notice the headlight difference with the trucks. You just have halogens here for the base model. You still have recovery points on the base model. No fog lights like the fully loaded one. But yeah, interesting to see them next to each other, right? So with the base model, our turn wheel setup is 275/60/20, and it actually has all-terrain tires, which is pretty cool. The loaded up one is 275/70/18, so you've got 33s on this, much more aggressive tread pattern as well. And then you notice the loaded up one has fender flares, whereas the base model does not have fender flares. Silverado badge, whereas in the loaded up one you of course have the ZR2 badge. And then you can see the height difference with the trucks because the loaded up one has a suspension lift. And then you can see here with the cab size difference. I'll show you guys with the seating, but yeah, the base model has a smaller cab as well. No fender flare there in the back. And then with the loaded up one, we've got leaf springs here in the back, and it's kind of hard to see, but we do have multimatic shocks, so we've got advanced shocks with it. The base model still has leaf springs, but you don't have fancy shocks, just the regular Chevy ones. Now, funny enough, if the key fob will focus, you've got lock, unlock, remote start, tailgate drop down, both the key fobs, so they actually both have the same key fob functionality. Now, taking a look at the bed of the base model, we actually have an outlet here in the bed. No bed line or anything like that, but it is over 6 feet in length, so that's a nice thing. And then tailgate, it's pretty simple. You just pop it. Didn't throw it enough, but you just pop that up. And then you guys can see with the custom badge, you got the bumper steps, all of that, but not a lot happening. With the loaded up one, protection from the factory, shorter bed, that is something to note. But we've got this nice grab handle. We've got LED lights here in the bed as well. We've got an outlet, and then this has the tailgate that doubles as like a step system. You can also pull it up like that, which is pretty cool. It's called the multi-flex on the Chevys. A little bit heavier, but still pretty easy to get up. And then you can see here with the cool accenting and badges on the back. And then again, you've got that off-road style bumper with the recovery points. No bumper steps though. And so there's the back ends. Now I suppose we'll pop into the base model first. So you can see, again, pretty basic with the material use here on the door panel. And then taking a look at the seats. Just basic cloth seats. Got this grab handle that helps out with getting in. Pretty cramped back here for the smaller cab, but it's not too bad, I guess. Little storage pocket here. This is funny, the bench seat. But yeah, headroom at least. It's good in the back of the base model. And these seats actually, they're not too bad. They're pretty comfortable. And then popping into the rear of the ZR2, look at that fancy trim here on the door panel with the neon stitching. And then you've got these fancy seats. Supposed to be easy to clean. You have behind the seat storage. It's another nice feature. A little bit harder to get in. You got to step up higher. Don't skip leg day if you're going to get in the ZR2. Anyways, you've got good leg room back here. Little storage pocket, some cup holders, heated seats in the back, USBs, some vents. And these seats are definitely more comfortable, that's for sure. And this leads us to the front of the base model. So again, pretty basic with the material use on the door panel. Got all of our window controls. Front one's automatic, which is nice. Mirror adjustments. Let's quick look at the mirror itself. Let's look at payload and towing. So our payload sticker says 1915, so that's good payload capacity. And then towing capacity sticker right here, 9,000 pounds. That's also pretty solid for 4-cylinder turbo. Cloth seats up front. They're actually power adjustable. That's fun. You can see we've got a trailer tow mode. You've got a pretty interesting system. So no 4-wheel drive low. We do have 4-wheel high and auto. And then you've got like this kind of hill climb assist, but not a 2-speed transfer case. And then you've got your light controls here. And then again, getting in is pretty easy. See how the door sounds closing up front. Pretty solid. Pop that on. Mostly analog gauge cluster, but you know, all the information you need to see, right? Don't need a ton. You got stuff like your cruise control here on the one side of the steering wheel, and then no radio controls in the back. You've got turn signal, windshield wiper, stock column shifter with this for the 10-speed. And then if we pop it into reverse, sorry about that, hit the camera. Yeah, pretty good with the resolution, but just a backup camera. And then yeah, you guys kind of see smaller infotainment system. It is touchscreen though. And they got some analog controls here. Single zone climate with this. It does come with lane departure, which is cool. Auto stop start, you can turn that on or off. Bunch of little charging ports here. Does have trailer brake controls integrated from the factory. Actually has a double glove box, which is pretty cool. No power sliding window with this. And then I showed you earlier, but this one's got the bench seat configuration up front, which interesting to see the cloth difference here versus the centers of these seats. And then taking a look at the front of the ZR2, again, you got all that fancy trim on the door panel with this. We've got memory seats, front 2 windows are automatic, and the mirrors power fold in, and they've got blind spot monitoring. Now we've got quite a bit less payload, 1,116 pounds of payload, and then towing capacity is actually less as well, 8,700 pounds. I think that's payload capacity limited. And then you can see here AEV, and then look at all the nice trim down the center. Power adjustments there. And then you can see we've got a 2-speed transfer case with the 4-wheel auto, so better drive line setup in this. Got some drive modes, still have the tow haul mode, all of your light controls. And then steering wheel's power adjustable, so a lot more power stuff, right? Memory seats, power adjustable steering wheel. Door, yeah, sounds pretty much the same. Full digital gauge cluster, it's another thing you get if you go fully loaded, and it'll show you the drive modes this comes with. And then the steering wheel is a lot fancier. So we have a heated steering wheel. First off, we've got the cruise control here, paddle shifters, radio controls on the back of the steering wheel. You've got controls here on the other side as well. We have a heads-up display with this. And then we actually have nice trim on the dash that goes across. And then if we pop it into reverse, 360 camera system. So again, that's a big upgrade. And then yeah, much bigger infotainment system with this. So you get a fancier unit if you go fully loaded. Lane departure just like the base model, but notice with the parking sensors, that's in addition. Hill descent control with this. Front mirror locking differentials as well. Still have the double glove box, just kind of like a fancier finish on the glove boxes. And then we've got our dual zone climate, heated ventilated seats, so that's a nice thing. Still have trailer brake controls. And this is the shifter in the ZR2, so you don't have a column, you've got a shifter down below. And this has a center console, so that's another big difference. Wireless phone charging pad, some USBs, and more of that nice trim. And like I said, these seats are definitely more comfortable. We've got a camera rear view mirror, and then we actually have a power sliding rear window as well. And just like the base model, no sunroof on this. Now, when it comes to pricing, that sticker's for about $82,000. That sticker's for about $42,000. Something to note, you're not really going to see huge discounts on the ZR2 like you are going to see on the base model. There's not as many ZR2s out there as there are base models, and so that could increase the price delta even more. But if we just look at MSRP to MSRP, you're looking at an over $30,000 price difference in the Silverado lineup. So I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below if you think the fully loaded Silverado is worth the extra $30,000. Would you pay $30,000 for the looks that truck has, the interior, the features? And the thing that I noticed is obviously there's a lot of mechanical differences, right? This has a lot of off-road stuff added to it, but a lot that you have upgraded in the loaded up one is just tech features, right? 360 camera, memory seats, blind spot monitoring, just a bunch of techie stuff. So anyways, let me know which one you're going with, and that's all.